The problem is in the God of Islam. This is shocking, and unfortunately this is the reality about this God. He's a God of torture. He's a God, the deceit God. This is what he talks about himself.
You are going to make millions, millions upon millions of Muslims very, very angry.
I'm not trying to offend Muslims. I love them. Those Muslims are my family.
But you are going to offend people, and you are going to put your life in danger, aren't you, by doing this?
Some of them will be offended. Some of them will be offended. But I am sure, I believe that many of them will wake up.
Some of them will try to kill you.
They will. They will. If they will kill me, they will kill this body. But the question, what about my soul? What about my ideas? What about my beliefs that I shared with everybody? Will they be able to kill this? I don't think so.
These comments are coming from a man who is not just any Palestinian, but the son of Sheikh Hassan Youssef, one of the founders of Hamas. Mossab Hassan is also a young man who himself, until just a few years ago, was president of the Islamic Youth Movement. And his denunciations of Islam are harsh and startling.
Every Muslim who read the Quran, if they allow themselves to listen to this Quran and believe in the same time that this is from God, I think they are sick and they need help. I believe that Islam is collapsing already. Because
it's collapsing?
It is collapsing. It looks from the outside, it's growing, but from the inside, it's completely collapsing. It's not giving answers to the people. It's not improving their lives. It's not helping them at all. Within 10 years, that's it. Islam is going to be over. Hamas start to get suspicious about everybody, about themselves, about their wives, about their children, about everybody. If they torture, you're not allowed to say anything. If they kill people, you're not allowed to say anything. If they teach you something wrong...
They torture and they kill people in the jail?
They tortured and they killed people.
Their own people?
Their own people. Like put needles under their fingernails.
They put needles under the fingernails?
Needles under their fingernails. Hamas leaders that we see them on the TVs now, okay, and big leaders were responsible for torturing their own members.
In studying the Quran, Mossab Hassan found what he calls thousands of inconsistencies.
What Muslim sheikhs or religious people do, that they focus on only one part of Islam.
Which part do they focus on?
The part that they need for that time. If it's a war zone, if it's wartime, they're talking about jihad. They bring the verses that, so it's like very political religion. And this way, I discovered that the Islam is the most bipolar religion on earth, that you can find whatever you want.
So the Quran contradicts itself?
In so many ways.
Within days of us broadcasting that interview, it spread across the internet like wildfire. Days after that, Al-Qaeda itself stepped up in the absence of Hamas making any comment, criticized Hamas for allowing him to get away from the organization, and then concluded their internet statement by quoting the words of the Prophet Muhammad, chilling words. They said, "Whoever changes his religion, kill him." That being a reference to the fact that Mossab Hassan not only has left Hamas, but has now turned his back on Islam and converted to Christianity.
I love Jesus immediately.
Why?
Love your enemy. That was the one that moved me from like deep and changed my life forever. I've been suffering for a long time. It's like my medicine became. It's not a drug. It's not given. It's not like Quran. Quran is a drug.
The Quran is a drug, you say?
Islam is a drug. To be honest with you, being killed is not the worst thing can happen to me. But if my soul is dead, if I feel the responsibility and I don't say a word of truth, I will die every day. The biggest terrorist is the God of the Quran. I know this is very dangerous, and I know this is this will offend many people, but my goal not to offend them. What I'm saying, that the biggest terrorist is Allah of the Quran, the God of the Quran, the God of Islam.
Since Yusuf's book was published, his father, Sheikh Hassan Yusuf, has publicly disowned his son.
I want to ask you, of course, to pray for me and pray for my family. They were under lots of pressure. The last time I talked to my dad, he told me, I asked him to disown me, because I know how difficult this is for them. And he told me this is not an option. I know their hearts. They're good people. But unfortunately, their God doesn't have a minimum amount of humanity. He unskinned